Hi, everybody. This is Chris,
And this is Matt.
and this is Swashbuckler, or rather, a
Yes.
discussion of Swashbuckler,
A non review of
a
Swashbuckler.
non-review of Swashbuckler. Do you remember why we started saying that?
Um,
I do. Do you? I was just wondering if you do.
I, I, like, ultimately, it was just to absolve ourselves of any criticism.
That's a lot of it. Yeah. Somebody got really upset at us that we spent so much time just sort of dicking around at the beginning, like
Observe.
observed, and they're like, I don't have this much time to wait while you get around to your review. I'm like, and then it's not even a review. I'm like, yeah, it's really not. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it,
So we leaned into it, and here we
yeah,
are today.
yeah. So for those of you joining for the first time, this is a book club type discussion. We pick a new game pick two games a month at this point, play them for the month, and then talk about one each episode.
Yes.
And this episode is, as you can tell by the screen, if you're watching, if you're just listening, I might not tell you. Of course, you
Yeah.
probably saw it in something else, and you'll hear us say the name
I
later.
think we already said it,
I think
actually.
so. Yeah. Shh. They might have forgotten.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, that's
so
right.
off topic at this point. They
Yeah.
probably don't even remember what show they're listening to. What did I tune into and why? But yeah, no script, no plan, no anything other than just we're going to talk about this game until we run out of things to say about this game. And I have a feeling that won't take long.
Yeah. So I'm watching this, and it looks like it's being viewed through someone's vertical blinds. Is that just the way I'm seeing it, or was that your experience playing it?
No, that's my experience playing it. Did you
Really,
get a different play?
mine did not look like that. It did not have those lines over everything.
Oh, you mean like the
The
raster
horizontal.
lines?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I do that because that's like gives you the CRT effect a little bit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha. So
yeah,
it's like you're really there.
yeah. It helps really bring home that old school
Right.
Apple
Okay.
II feel.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the short version is there's not a lot to this game, but
No, but we'll talk
let's
about the history and we'll talk about some of that. I do want to say, since you brought up like actual Apple II, you brought me up an Apple II last time we saw each other, and I finally got, for the first time in my life, to kind of sit down and apples to apples play a game that I used to have on the Commodore and play it on the Apple II.
Mhm.
The loading time is insane.
It's
It,
so much better on Apple.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that kind of loading time. To be able to sit down, have Ultima 3 up and going.
In mere minutes.
It's not even
Yeah.
a minute and a half tops. Whole game. I'm in. I'm playing. I'm doing stuff.
Yep. You're experiencing the world
It's like a whole new world.
like in
I dare
Aladdin.
not close my eyes.
Hold your breath, it gets better. Hopefully, you could say the same thing for this episode.
Hopefully, but I doubt it. I think you should close your eyes.
Yep. So this son of a bitch came out in 1982.
By Paul
Um,
Stephenson.
Stephenson
Stevenson or Stephenson?
Stephenson. He
Yeah,
had
he
one
will
other.
probably not like that we screwed up his name, but Matt will also probably accuse him of being dead here in a second, so, whatever.
Right. Yeah, I just assume everyone who made games in the 80s is dead. I don't know
All right,
why.
that's.
His only other game is Aztec, which was
Yes.
also by the same publisher, which is Data something.
Datamost.
Datamost. Thank you.
Datamost. I want to. Aztec, at looking that up after playing this game, that's going on our list soon because that looks like some weird combination of Prince of Persia and
Right.
Castle Wolfenstein, and I am
Right.
there for that. I,
Yeah, it looked interesting, and that also came out the same year. So it was like Paul was busy.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
Datamost also did two other interesting things.
is
They
one of them the Biles Toad?
the Biles Toad, yes,
Mm-hmm.
which eventually led us to Die by the Sword, which we both love, and even going back, still love. Uh,
Still, will always love that game.
the other was they made a wizardry character editor that they sold.
Really?
Yes, Wiz Plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I see it on the
Sir
list.
Tech was unamused.
I can imagine.
But
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff, and it was for like 81 they had two things, and then 84 they had like five things, and then there were just tons in 82 and 83.
yeah.
So it wasn't like a long-lived uh, affair, Datamos, but you know,
No, they kind of
Swashbuckler.
came out, made a bunch of little games, all I think quality. Would you say this is a quality game?
It's doing things, you know, it's fun,
Yeah. Here's
kind
the
of.
question.
Yeah.
This and Phantom Karate Devils are the same price.
I think I would rather play this over Phantom Karate Devils.
That's and by like a lot, I think.
Yeah, so I had a great experience, and it's a rare experience that one has doing this,
Mm-hmm.
where I booted this up and I was like, "Oh my God, I had this.
Oh,
Like
really?
I played this. I had this on a disc. I didn't know it was Swashbuckler. Uh, for some reason, I have no recollection of the intro screen, but like this gameplay, it's like inside me somewhere, this
Mm-hmm.
game. So I was like really excited um, to boot it up and like to play it and kind of remember it. Uh, and that was a great experience.
Yeah.
I'm like really happy that I stumbled back across this game.
This was for me the first time playing it, but not the first time knowing about it or seeing it.
Hmm.
I it was an eighth grade dance. I saw some kids in a room playing it, like the kids who didn't want to dance but still wanted to get it out of the house and not be
Sure.
like I didn't go to the thing. There was a little computer set up in one of the rooms off the gym, and I'm like,
Nice.
I want my turn, and I just kept walking by the game room because I was one of those kids who didn't want to be at the dance. And by
Right.
the time it was finally my turn, they had switched the games around, and this wasn't in there anymore. But
Yeah, that's a sad story
it
because
is
like for this looks really good for 1982.
right. I mean,
Like this would have blown my mind, and it did. Like it did kind of blow my mind because it looks pretty good and it actually moves okay.
yeah. I mean, this isn't Prince of Persia level, really fine
No.
tuned stuff, but you can tell what everything is. There's a little bit of style to each of the enemies and the character. It looks clean. The animation's rough because it is just you're here, you're here. You know, it's poses, not actual, I'd say, animation.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, for the time, it's really good, and it manages to capture, like, to me, I don't know how you'd put this on any other game system. It just it looks Apple II. It's
It's
everything about the Apple II.
quintessential Apple II.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Um, the gameplay loop is
short.
boring. It's right because it's always the same.
Right.
You have someone on your left, someone on your right, and you go back and forth and you kill them
Mm-hmm.
until you get tired of doing it.
Right.
Essentially, like there's no end. There, like nothing happens,
Right.
and it just keeps going on. They get up, you stab them. Often you can stab them immediately when they get back up,
Mm-hmm.
like with no delay. Um, you have you can you have like four different things you can do with your sword, but you only need to do two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never need to like raise your sword up high. You just don't.
No.
Like there's no bird that flies in. You think there's going to be a bird
Right.
because there's like
There's always
spooky
a bird.
snakes and you
Right.
got to like go down and kill the snakes. But even that doesn't require any timing. you just put your sword down and the snake runs into it and dies. So it's
Right.
not like it's not it's a very easy game.
Yeah.
The only thing you're testing is your patience, really.
I mean, it does speed up as things go on, but it's a timing
Yeah.
game, not a fighting game. Like there's no blocks and counters and like Nidhogg.
Yeah,
This is not.
right. Here's an excerpt from the manual that I think sums it up. There has probably never been an action game as exciting or as interesting as Swashbuckler, or with such terrific high-res graphic animation.
Yeah.
They knew what they had, man, when they wrote that manual.
Right. I kind of liked the manual. It was
Me
short,
too.
is like one page of like fluff, and then a page of like controls, and then boom, that's it. Like
You're done. You're in there.
you're done. Because that's what I wanted out of a game in 1982. Obviously, I want more now, but
Yeah,
yeah, this would be a great way to just kill some time and
and that's exactly how I played it. And you
yeah.
just like do it, and you see the all the bad guys and the levels, and it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that makes no sense to me though is, you can get hit 3 times and then you're done.
Yeah.
But if the rat bites you, the rat dog thing,
Mm-hmm.
if that bites you, you don't die, but you can't thrust anymore. So
What?
you essentially are dead. Yeah, it doesn't kill you. It robs you of your ability to thrust.
I guess I never
So
got hit by it.
yeah, it's crazy. Like it doesn't make any sense, and you really can't be super effective without the thrust because it's
No.
like the one tool in your toolbox.
Yeah, there's another stab, but it's like,
It's
you
like
gotta
this
be
kind of
closer.
half-hearted
Yeah.
stab, and like doesn't really work that well. Boop. So that's a weird decision, a weird game mechanic.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing. The guy who wrote like one of the few or only reviews from back in the day on this was, oh god, I can't think of his name now, but he's the guy who did Bard's Tale and not Brian Fargo, the other one. Man.
Oh, don't fall into a Google hole on me. Oh, he's looking it up, folks. Just like go get a drink. It's the Google show now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you searching for guy who's not Brian Fargo?
Michael Cranford.
Like right.
And like he did the review on it, and his complaint was at the time, after you got 255 kills, it flipped around back to 0.
Yes.
And I just want to say, like, that is it for all his pros and cons for the whole thing. He took the time to kill 255 of these guys. Like, he
Right.
had enough fun playing it
Right.
that he flipped the score, possibly multiple times. And they were
Right.
even like, yeah, it's a bug we didn't know about because no one's ever gotten that far.
Really, it stops changing after 80.
Yes.
You get to like around level 80 and you've seen everything and nothing else is going to change or happen.
Right. It's
So,
just
like-
endurance.
Yeah, like they speed up a little.
And there's some strategies you can use, like making sure you push the corpses far enough back and not killing a guy till you get him to the edge of the screen so you're not
Right, so you don't
hemmed
get
in too
sandwiched.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have. It's not completely mindless. It's not tap one button.
No, but it's
But-
as close to mindless as you're going to get.
Yeah, it's adjacent. It's mindless adjacent.
Yeah.
But the other thing I like is like the enemies also have their own speed and reach.
Right.
Like so
Right.
it isn't even exactly the same enemy. It's the same you're doing the same thing. It's hard to explain because you're not going to do a different move unless I guess the rat gets you.
Right.
But the timing, the pacing, the placing, all that footwork matters. And that's just enough to keep it interesting for a little bit,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
forever.
Right. Right. This is like the shortest of short games, really,
Yeah.
because you can see it all in 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
So I, as a service to our viewers, I went ahead and named all the bad guys.
Oh, that's nice of you.
So right now you're fighting Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force,
God damn it! I'll never unsee that.
and his partner on the left there was Hunchback Devo Hat Lumberjack.
Devo Hat Lumberjack.
Yeah, he's got a pyramid Devo hat on,
Okay,
and
okay.
he's clearly a lumberjack with striped socks.
All right, all right.
And then you have regular pirate,
Yeah.
who you'll face later, and then you have the saw puppet pirate,
Okay.
and then there's the three ground
Which puppet is this? Is this
monsters.
Saw Puppet Pirate?
Yeah, that's saw puppet pirate.
Okay.
Um, and then there's Snake,
Yeah.
Happy Rat Dog, and Scorpion. Your three like
Mm-hmm.
ground things. And then there's some kind of spear lizard monster. I wasn't really sure what that one was. He's got a spear. I don't know what's happening if he's wearing some kind of
Armory
intricate
thing.
hat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well,
what
when
that
we
is.
when we see him again, we'll point him out.
Yeah. And then you have Thomas Jefferson with the harpoon,
Yeah.
and then Inexplicable Samurai. And those are all the guys. The whole cast of characters.
I
So
thought
once
you were
you've
going to name
seen
him.
them-
Like Carl was like where I expected you to start, but then this one's Fred. This one's
No, no.
Fart Blocker. This one's you're gonna.
It's my interpretation of the graphics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Snake is good. Like
Snake's
Snake
good.
looks like Snake, and that's regular. These are the two pirates.
These are the two pirates. I want to ask: did you try to rub your dick on the rat?
Always.
Always. Okay. Just check.
You gotta rub dick on rat,
Rub
man,
dick
or
on
you're
rat.
not Apple gaming.
I'll let people go through our back catalog and try and figure out what that's a reference to.
Yeah,
Feed that YouTube algorithm.
that's right. Or support us on Patreon and email me and I'll tell you.
Oh my god. Oh, now I'm dirty.
Shilling that Patreon, man.
Oh. What's your pinnacle and pit?
My pinnacle was booting it up and realizing I had played it as a kid and like really liked it, and that it was imprinted somewhere in my brain.
Mhm.
That was great. And the pit was getting to like there's three levels. There's below deck, slightly less below deck, and deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my pit was when I got to deck and realized, oh man, like there's nothing else to this game. Like it's just me I'm gonna walk back and forth and kill these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the game. Like that's the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. So which one's this guy here?
This is some kind of spear lizard monster.
Okay.
And there's a question mark. Like, what is he?
Well, I think he's got the poofy like hat with the feather.
Oh, okay. And that's Thomas Jefferson with the harpoon on the right.
Okay.
That's my take. I thought he was some kind of lizard.
Spider.
Must stop. Get him.
Get him. Got him.
Or he could have a Davy Crockett hat, but I saw him as like a powdered wig.
Okay. Okay. I see the powdered wig now. Yeah, I just thought it was a bandana. I just
Oh,
thought it was
yeah.
typical pirate bandana, dude.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I thought it was Thomas Jefferson, so so
Fair
to
guess. Fair
interpretation.
guess.
Okay, so that makes sense what that guy is. He's less of a lizard.
Yeah.
He has kind of a lizardy quality about him,
I
especially
see,
when he
I
turns
get what
green.
you're going for, yeah. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean
Who's your
powdered wig
peak
guy,
input?
like I definitely see that too.
Yeah.
My pinnacle was when the spiders and snakes and everything came out because I was just starting to get lulled into this. Oh God, there is nothing to this. I'm like, ooh, something, and then like enemies started getting reused, and I'm like, no, there's nothing.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, realizing you never have to go up.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do anything but thrust and walk.
And I
turn
think
around.
this could have been, and it's probably, for timing, like you said, he wrote the other one same year, so that was this was probably like the prototype,
Mm-hmm.
and then Aztec was
Aztec
the game.
Yeah, yeah.
because if you had made this like a karateka, where you had to walk through the level, then go up, walk through the level, then go up, and had a big pirate end guy that maybe you had to hit twice,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you had to do that again, that would still be like just enough more game
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know. You'd want to go back. You'd want to win it. You'd want to.
Or even like, even if they did what Phantom Karate Devils did and gave you like a an amount of like energy where if you get blocked too many times, because you can just sit there and mash on
Mm-hmm.
thrust,
Yeah.
you know, uh, which
Yeah, you might still get tagged. I mean, you can't count on that, but it is.
I mean, I could count on it really, because like the only time you really get in trouble is when they get too close to you and maybe if something runs underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like kill one of them as soon as they get up, which is quite easy,
Yeah.
you're kind of like in the clear. So, yeah, pretty
Yeah, I'm not
easy.
saying there's some high depth
No,
block counter
No.
stuff. Like I wish
No.
blocks mattered more, but I mean, it's
Mhm.
this is one where I'm definitely giving it the benefit of its age, the
Yeah.
system it's on. You know,
It was still fun.
was
Like
still fun.
I knew what it was. I had fun the whole time I was doing it.
Yeah, and I will boot it up again from time to time. I'm sure. Like,
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to get into a whole
no,
Sid Meier's pirate situation. You just want to swashbuckle
you want
Carl
to
from
swash your
Aqua Teen
buckle and
Hunger
get that
Force and
going.
go to
Yeah,
bed.
you got to kill Carl.
You gotta
Got to kill Carl.
with a he's like coming at you with a board with a nail in it, like in
Right?
that Simpsons episode.
I'll have a bigger board with a bigger nail. I liked, and I almost didn't see it. Like when you're down in the first level, your score and number are almost hidden in the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something I liked about that. I can't quite explain it. It felt like they were part of the background instead of,
Yeah.
um,
So instead of its own thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely clever for someone um, like trying to figure this out or get coding early of leaving the black strip in the middle where all the action happens
Mhm.
and then just having the borders change so that
Right. Totally.
like it's a good use of screen space is what it is for that time. So
Yeah.
all right, anything else you want to say about this?
Um. No, not really. Like, there's not really that much to say
No,
about it.
it was
But
fun, enjoyed it.
yeah, it's a good time. Like, give it a shot.
Yeah.
If you want or don't, I
Or
don't
don't.
really care.
I'm not a cop, I don't care. Not
You
coming
are not
for
a
it.
cop.
I'm not a
You have to
cop.
tell me if you are, man.
It's actually not true.
It's entrapment.
Yeah, it's not though.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah, if anyone's told you that, that's not true. The cops absolutely can lie to you.
Yeah. We used to like buy fireworks illegally, and I remember the fireworks guy saying to my dad, like, "Are you a cop?" My dad's like, "No." Like, who did that guy think he was? Because we were like buying bottle rockets.
Yeah.
You know? Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah,
Anyway.
I got
neither
stories
here
about
nor
that for
there.
later. Anyway,
Yeah.
the next game, I didn't quite get enough time, which is why we did this one instead of Demon's Forge, because obviously Swashbuckler took way less of our time.
Swashbuckler took a microsecond.
Yeah, a fun game. Glad we did it, but yeah, didn't take a lot to get the whole game in there. So,
Mhm.
Demon's Forge again. I'm a fan of that.
Yep.
Next game to replace this one though. Raid over Moscow.
Oh my. Play it like there's no tomorrow. Is this a commentary on political events? Are we doing that? Are we gonna do that?
Uh,
Are we gonna remain politically neutral while playing Raid over Moscow?
I kind of feel like you can't. I mean, here's the thing. we will probably not bring up the thing you're talking about, but I am not politically neutral on it.
Fair.
Like, I do kind of want to be the place where you don't have to think about that, because so much of it just gets thrown at you. But yeah, if you haven't picked up our political leanings and thoughts on things slowly over the years, then spelling them out for you isn't necessarily going to change anything.
Right. Right.
But no, this is more Cold War,
Right.
Point of view, because this is over 20 years ago, so it can't be topical. Nothing we do can be topical. And politics were never in video games.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
I hate that argument. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Raid Over
Same.
Moscow, Cold War era Moscow fighting game.
Yeah.
I hope
Will we
you
be
get deep
piloting
enough
jets?
into it to really see the end where it gets weird.
Right.
Not that the first part isn't weird, but
Man, I love a weird game.
yeah. So
Sounds great.
yeah, I think you'll like it, or won't. One of the two.
Likely.
All right. Anything else? Anything we need to think about, talk about, worry about?
No, I mean just everything.
It just feels so short.
Well, we've been playing a lot of short games. Like
We've
let's
been
be
playing a lot of
honest.
short, but this is short for our short games. But it is Swashbuckler, and there's really not much else I can say about it other than
Yeah.
you stab guys.
You do the thrust, the guys fall down, they get back up, you do
Do
the
it
thrust,
again.
repeat in perpetuity.
Yeah. It's fun, but I can't explain why. But not for
Right.
long, and I can explain why.
Exactly.
So, all right. Then we'll talk to everybody later.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Big thank you to all of you watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, suggesting games, commenting on our videos, or supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate all of your support and look forward to sharing many more videos with you. Thank you again.